Hello students, this is Ovisha from SNCS. Today we will discuss about one geography topic, water bodies. So at first, what is water bodies? A body of water or water body is any significant accumulation of water. So any significant accumulation of water is under water body on the earth's surface. The earth is often called the watery planet because nearly 71% of its surface is covered with water. So our planet earth is also called as watery planet. Why? Because 71% of its surface is covered with water. The term often refers to oceans, seas and lakes. So water bodies means it may be oceans, seas and lakes, and beside from this all rivers, streams, canals are under this water body. The earth's hydrosphere consists of water on and below the surface of the earth. The oceans account for 71% of the earth's. Unlike continents, all oceans and seas are interconnected. So 71% are under the ocean, and unlike continents, all oceans and seas are interconnected. So all oceans and seas are interconnected to each other. It is to be remembered that water always maintain its level, and we need to remember that always waters try to take a level, and this level is called as sea level. Basically we can see the sea level in oceans. Okay, the sea level being uniform throughout the world, and this sea level is uniform, that means same in throughout the world, and serve as an excellent means of measuring height of mountain. And with the help of this sea level we can measure any kind of height. It may be for the mountain, for the plateau, or with the help of sea level we can measure the depth of the oceans. Like that Mount Everest height is 8,848 meters, and we can easily measure the height of Mount Everest with the help of sea level, because this is the height from the above the sea level. There is continuous interchange of water between the oceans, atmosphere and land, and this is called hydrological cycle or water cycle. And always water is moving from oceans to atmosphere, from to atmosphere to land. So this way always water is moving from one form to another form, or one place to another place, and they create a cycle like structure, and it is called as water cycle. The oceans furnish vapor for most of the rains, and ocean basically receive the water from the rain. Water is used for drinking, cultivation of crops and various other uses, and basically we use the water for our drinking, cultivation of crop and various other uses. Water is the essence of life, and the water cycle is a single process through which all the three realms of the earth, lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere, are connected. So lithosphere means all the rocks, hydrosphere water bodies, and atmosphere means air, are totally interconnected with this water cycle. The differential heating of the earth by the sun causes water to evaporate, and due to sun heat water is evaporate, and the atmospheric blanket around the earth does not allow water vapor to escape. And when the water vapor come in contact with the cooler air of atmosphere, it condenses to form clouds, and when they move to the upward side, and they with the help of the cooler layer they form the clouds and falls back on the earth in the form of rain. And when they saturated, they again come back into the earth's surface, and they create the rainfall, or it may be create snow or hail. This water flows into rivers or goes underground or back into the ocean, and when rainfall is occurred, it may be poured into the oceans, or it may be poured into the lands. And if they poured into the land, then they, with the help of underground water moving, they again back into the oceans. This process is called water cycle, and because of this circulation, water exists in three states, and solid, liquid and gases, that means snow, water and vapor. So water may be formed as a snow, water, or that means the liquid, or as a vapor. So this is actually water cycle. You can see that water is evaporated from the oceans, and they from the clouds, and from the clouds precipitation is occurred, and this precipitated water again mixed with the oceans. So this create a cycle. So next, characteristics of major oceans. So generally we speak of the oceans as if they are separate bodies of water. In reality they are just section of one great sea covering most of the earth's surface. So generally we speak the oceans as if they are separated. So we call that the Pacific Ocean is there, Atlantic Ocean is there, Indian Ocean is there, but they are actually not separated. They are interconnected to each other. These major oceans are Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, and Southern Ocean. So at first come to the Pacific Ocean. So the Pacific Ocean is the largest and deepest. So this is the largest and deepest ocean of all the ocean, covering one third of the globe. And this Pacific Ocean covered one third of the globe, and its average depth is 4,200 meters, and its basin contains high and abrupt ridges and deep trenches, volcanic mountains, and other features. So in the basin of this mountain, that means in the foot of this mountain, or in the depth of the mountain, the depth of the ocean, we can see the various kind of ridges, deep trenches, volcanic mountains, and other features. That means in the surface of the Pacific Ocean there have various trenches, that means deep, or there have some volcanic mountains. The Pacific Ocean has a string of volcanoes along the coastal margins of the continent. Basically in the coastal region of Pacific Ocean there have lots of volcanoes or volcanic mountains. Okay, so what are the characteristics of Pacific Ocean? That Pacific Ocean is the largest of the Earth's oceanic division, and the equator divides it into the North Pacific Ocean and South Pacific Ocean. So according to equator, Pacific Ocean is divided into two parts. One is North Pacific Ocean and another is South Pacific Ocean. Pacific is a Spanish word meaning peaceful sea. So the meaning of Pacific is peaceful sea. It was named so by a Portuguese explorer, Ferdinand Magellan. So Ferdinand Magellan gave the name Pacific. So next is Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean is the second largest ocean and is shallow as compared to the Pacific Ocean, and this ocean has many ridges, canyons, and gorges. So Atlantic Ocean, there have also various ridges, canyons, and gorges, and many rivers drain into the ocean such as Rhine, Senegal, Niger, Congo, Amazon, Mississippi, Orinoco, and La Plata. These all rivers mixed into the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, or they drain into the Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean is the great commercial highway, and this is very important for trade purpose, and most of the world's great port lies on the coast, and most of the ports also situated in the coast of Atlantic Ocean. So characteristics of Atlantic Ocean, that it is the second largest ocean of the world. Atlantic Ocean occupies an elongated S-shaped basin. So this is the Atlantic Ocean, and it is looks like a more or less S shape. Okay, and the ocean's name was derived from Greek mythology, means Sea of Atlas, and the meaning of Atlantic means Sea of Atlas. It is the saltiest major ocean, and the amount of salt of this ocean is very high. Next is Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean is comparatively small in size with an average depth of 4,000 meters. The two great bays on either side of the peninsula of India, viz. Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea, belong to Indian Ocean. So in Indian Ocean, there in beside of this Indian Ocean there have two sea. In the right hand there have Bay of Bengal, in the left hand there have Arabian Sea. Next is characteristics that Next is the Indian Ocean has thousands small islands like Maldives and Cocos Island. These all islands are situated in this ocean, and the Mauritius Island and are volcanic islands. These are also situated in this ocean, and the principal rivers draining into the Indian Ocean are the Zambezi of Indus and Ganga and the Irrawaddy. These rivers are drained into the Indian Ocean. Characteristics of Indian Ocean, that Indian Ocean is the body of salt water covering approximately 1/5 of total ocean area of the world. So this water body of salt water covering approximately 1/5 of the total ocean. Okay, and it is the smallest, geologically youngest, and physically most complex of the world's three major oceans, and its deepest point in the Sunda Deep. Sunda Deep is the deepest point, or the Java Trench of the southern coast of the island of Java in Indonesia, which is 7,450 meters deep. So in Indian Ocean there have a highest deep, the name is Sunda Deep. Next is Arctic Ocean. The Arctic Ocean is the smallest of all the oceans, and it is situated around the Earth North Pole and remains perpetually frozen. So Arctic Ocean always placed as a frozen condition, and the Arctic Ocean is connected to the Atlantic Ocean by the eastern and western Greenland canals and channels, and to the Pacific Ocean by the Bering Strait. So with the help of Bering Strait, these are joined. That Arctic Ocean is connected to the Atlantic Ocean with the help of Bering Strait. Its salinity is very low, and it's important due to introduction of polar bear routes between Europe and North America. And it is not navigable. It is not navigable because all the waters are always situated as a frozen condition, and it is surrounded by the important continent of Europe, North America and Asia. Next is characteristics of Arctic Ocean. The Arctic Ocean surface temperature and salinity vary seasonally as the ice cover melts and frozen, and its salinity is lowest on an average of the five major oceans due to low evaporation and heavy freshwater inflow from river and streams. So salinity is lowest. Next is Southern Ocean. The Arctic and Southern Ocean surround the continent of Antarctica in the southern hemisphere, and it is an extension of the Pacific, Atlantic and Indian Oceans, and it remains frozen for most part of the year. So Southern Ocean is also placed as a frozen condition, and hence it is not navigable, and it is also not navigable for us. And characteristics of Southern Ocean. So next is characteristics of Southern Ocean. That Arctic Ocean, also known as Southern Ocean, and comprise the southernmost water of the world's ocean, and generally taken to be south of 60 degrees south latitude encircling Antarctica. And it is larger than Arctic Ocean, and by way of his voyages in the 1770s, Captain James Cook prov- proved that water encompasses the southern latitude of the globe.